The night before my 10-year reunion, I lay awake rehearsing my revenge, remembering how they voted me most likely to be nothing in our yearbook. Before I tell you what really happened that day, please subscribe to Elliot Stories, like this video, share it with someone who's been underestimated, and drop your city in the comments so I know where you're watching from. Back then, at Ridgefield High, I wasn't just the class loser. I was the poor black girl on scholarship in a rich, mostly white school. My uniform was always a little faded, my shoes were always last year's, and my lunch was usually something I reheated from last night's dinner. They treated me like background noise. Until they wanted entertainment. I still hear the echo of their laughter in the cafeteria, the day they put that stupid most likely to be nothing title under my picture on the senior prank wall. Someone had photoshopped my face next to a trash can. The whole room shook with laughter, trays clattered, sneakers squeaked on the floor. "Relax, it's just a joke, Ryan," the golden boy said when I confronted him. He slung his arm around his girlfriend, Madison, who covered her smile with a perfectly manicured hand. "You know we love you, Charity. Lighten up." They called it a joke. My chest called it humiliation. Teachers saw. Nobody said anything. The counselor told me, "Don't let them get to you. Focus on your studies." So I did. I focused on staying small. On surviving. On counting the days until I could disappear from their world. I left that school vowing never to go back. But trauma has a long memory, and when the reunion email arrived, we can't wait to see what everyone has become. Something inside me snapped awake. What if, just once, I didn't come back small? I almost deleted the email. Then I saw the class group chat. Screenshots started trickling in from an old friend. "Remember Charity?" One message read. "Wonder if she's still working at that fast food place," another replied. "I'll pay good money if she shows up still broke," Ryan wrote, followed by crying laughing emojis. My cheeks burned even though I was alone in my apartment. I wasn't working fast food anymore. I wasn't broke. But it was wild how they could freeze me in time like I'd never left that cafeteria. The truth? Life after high school wasn't cute. I worked 2 jobs, studied at night, failed out my first semester of college, went back, and clawed my way into a tech boot camp. I slept on a friend's couch for months. I cried more tears than I care to admit. Then slowly, things shifted. I got a junior developer role. Then a promotion. Then another. I started my own app, designed to help low-income students find scholarships and mentors. It blew up. Investors came. Interviews followed. Suddenly, the girl most likely to be nothing was on magazine covers for building something. But success doesn't erase scars. When my assistant Deji jokingly said, "You should pull up to that reunion like a movie," I laughed, then paused. "Like how?" I asked. He grinned. "You built an app that changed thousands of lives. You run a company with your name on the door. Why walk through their gate when you can land on their lawn?" I thought he was kidding, until he showed me the invoice from a helicopter charter company. "You're insane," I told him, but my heart was racing. He shrugged. "You've spent your whole life being humble. Maybe it's time to be seen." In the days before the reunion, memories flooded back. The whispers, the stares, the racist jokes dressed up as banter. The time a teacher asked me if my people celebrated Christmas the same way. The security guard who followed only me around the school store. I wasn't just going back for me. I was going back for 17-year-old Charity who cried in the bathroom, holding her breath so no one would hear. The morning came. My red gown hugged my body like courage made of fabric. As the helicopter blades roared to life, wind whipping my hair across my face, my palms went slick with sweat. What if they laugh again? I shouted to Deji over the noise. "Then they'll be laughing while you step out of a helicopter," he shouted back. "You already won." As we lifted into the sky, my stomach flipped. The town shrank beneath us. Tiny houses, tiny streets, tiny high school that once felt like the entire universe. I clenched my hands in my lap, breathing through the roar of the engine, the thump of the blades, the hammer of my heart. I told myself, "You're not going to beg for their approval. You're going to reclaim your story." We circled the old school first. From the air, the reunion looked like a movie set. Women in glittering dresses, men in fitted suits, fairy lights strung over the courtyard, the rented mansion shining behind them. When the helicopter descended onto the lawn, people scattered, screaming and laughing over the deafening wind. My heartbeat synced perfectly with the chopping blades. The door opened. Warm air hit my face, carrying the smell of freshly cut grass and expensive perfume. I saw phones already out, recording. Curious faces turned to shock, then disbelief. Madison's jaw literally dropped. Ryan raised his hand to shield his face from the dust, squinting like he couldn't trust what he was seeing. I stepped down slowly, my red gown trailing behind me, heels sinking slightly into the grass. I felt every eye on my skin like heat. My body wanted to shrink, but I rolled my shoulders back. Someone gasped, "Is that Charity?" I smiled. In the flesh. Nobody laughed. Not this time. Ryan finally found his voice. "Wow, you really went all out." "Seems fitting," I said. "Most likely to be nothing makes a pretty good entrance, right?" His smile faltered. Madison shifted uncomfortably, tugging at her dress. "That was just a high school joke," she murmured. "Yeah," I replied quietly. "Funny how your joke stayed with me longer than any lesson we learned here." For a moment, the only sound was the helicopter engine winding down behind me. Then something unexpected happened. A woman I barely remembered, Shannon, the quiet girl from art class, stepped forward. "Charity," she said, eyes shining, "I follow your app. My little sister got into college because of your scholarship alerts." Her voice trembled. "I should have defended you back then. I'm sorry." Her honesty cracked open the tension. Another former classmate added, "My cousin uses your platform too. You changed his life." Their words didn't erase the pain, but they wrapped around it like bandages. I felt the 17-year-old version of me breathe a little easier. Ryan shoved his hands in his pockets. "Look, if I ever made you feel." "You did," I cut in gently. "But I don't need your apology to know who I am anymore." Silence. Then, slowly, people started clapping. Not the mocking clap from the cafeteria, but something warmer, deeper. In that moment, I realized my real revenge wasn't the helicopter, or the gown, or the stunned looks on their faces. My real revenge was healing. Standing there, fully myself, no longer begging to be small enough for their comfort. If there's a moral to this story, it's this. They don't get the final say on your life. Not the bullies. Not the teachers who looked away. Not the people who laughed while you bled inside. Your value isn't decided in a cafeteria or in a yearbook caption. It's decided in the quiet moments when you refuse to quit, when you choose growth over bitterness, when you turn your pain into purpose. If you've ever been called nothing, I need you to hear me. You are not nothing. You are becoming something they could never imagine. If this story touched you, let me know your city in the comments. Tell me one label you're breaking free from. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Elliot Stories, and share this with someone who needs to remember that the class loser can still land on the lawn in a helicopter.